Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for this video. This is kind of based on the requests of a lot of people asking, what can I do? How can I change my makeup routine to make it more wearable for summer? Basically, we all know when you get outside in the summertime, or maybe you just live in a climate that is warmer year-round, you're dealing with more heat, more humidity, things that basically all want to just tear down your makeup. So throughout this video, I'm going to take you step by step from the face to the eyes to the lips, talking about some slight changes you can make to your makeup routine to still look really fresh and glowy, but not overdone. And basically, I'll try to give you your best shot at a long wearing makeup look for the summer months. Keep in mind, I'm not claiming that you can go spend a day underwater and this will all come out looking just like this. But if you, I'm thinking this is more for someone who is going to just be spending a lot of time outdoors or works outdoors and just wants this to last as long as possible. If I knew I was going to be outside swimming, I probably would just, go nothing on eye makeup wise and maybe a little lip gloss and some tinted moisturizer. So this is a few more steps for those who really do want a face of makeup for the day but just want it to last a long time. So no more talk, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Alright, step one, I would recommend using a tinted moisturizer, something that's lightweight, that's not going to go on very thick on your skin, because while you might think, okay, I want my makeup to last a long time, I'm just going to wear more, actually a thinner layer is going to hold up better on your skin and be less visible, I guess, if anything, any melting happens throughout the day. Now you could mix with your tinted moisturizer, you could mix in a foundation to give you a little more coverage. I'm just going to use my tinted moisturizer as is. This is this CoverGirl Smoothers. It's SPF 15, it's oil-free, and my shade is light to medium. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that out here and just start blending that in with my fingers. Next, I would say go ahead and use some concealer on the areas where you need it. For me, that's around my eye area and a little bit around my nose. Today, I'm using my Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer Kit. My shade is Natural, so I'm just going to dot that around my under eye area. And, if you want to make it as quick as possible and really help this kind of melt in with your skin, just go ahead and use your finger. Next, go ahead and apply a powder to any areas where you tend to get oily. So you don't have to do this all over your face, but just kind of, for me, it's going to be my T-zone area. So I'm using Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. My shade is medium 2-2.5 beige. And so there's what it looks like there. So I'm just going to take a brush with that and just give myself some really light coverage over those areas where I tend to get a little oily. And for being on the go, I would go ahead and take a powder with me, but also some oil blotting tissues, and that'll help you kind of going under my eyes a little bit to set that concealer as well. But taking those oil blotting tissues, sometimes you can just do that to get rid of your oil. It's kind of gross when you have oily or sweaty skin and then you just plop powder on top of it. So yeah, that's a good tip for on the go. Next, you want to give your skin that little bit of glow. If you're going to be outside, you want to kind of have that sun-kissed look. I'm using a bronzer that has a slight bit of shimmer to it, but it's not going to make you look like you got a really sparkly face. It's the Rimmel Natural Bronzer in Sundance. Sunlight is the one that tends to be more matte, more like NYC Sunny. This one has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's really pretty on. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just kind of lightly dust this on the forehead. Think about the areas, not so much contouring, but like the areas where the sun would naturally hit you, and that's where this is going to look the most natural. So I'm kind of going on the cheeks and kind of just blend it down. With the bronzer that's really this light, you can just kind of do an all-over dusting and really give you that glowy look. Since we're sticking with this glow, I'm going to go with a cream blush. I really like the NYC Blushable cream sticks, and the one I'm using is Pink Flash, which actually kind of reminds me of a somewhat bright coral shade, actually. So I'm just going to, the way I do these, I just get a little bit on my finger and then smile and get this on the outer part of the apple of your cheek. So not in here. You get close to your nose, you get that look of redness. Nobody wants that. So kind of go right out here. So that's where I'm going to kind of put that and just start blending lightly in circular motions. And before you know it, that blush is going to be all blended in. I'm going to go back for a little bit more. Now this last step for the face is totally optional, but if you want an even longer wearing look with the cheeks there, top off the cream blush with a somewhat luminous powder blush, so you're still going to get that glowy look, but it is going to last you a little longer. Lately I've been using a whole lot. I've been really using this e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzer duo. This is part of the Studio line, and been starting to use this blush more and more. A lot of people say it's a dupe for NARS Orgasm. And it just has that hint of sparkle. I'm going to grab a blush brush here. And so just get a little bit on there and kind of go right over what you just did. And you're just going to get even more of a glow. And it's going to last you longer. All right, guys, the eye look is super, super easy and quick. I'm going to take my Palladio Herbal Eyeshadow Primer. That's available at Sally Beauty Supply. And honestly, works for me just as well as the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. So I'm just applying that all over my lid. Anything you can do like this to extend the wear of your eyeshadow, I mean, that's going to really help even in hot weather to just kind of put that layer down there. So go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to take a really light eyeshadow trio. I think if you get in with lots of dark shades, you're going to be much more prone to notice creasing, because if you're sweating, I mean, I'm thinking about just different scenarios I've been in, and then I've looked at my makeup later and thought, oh my gosh, if I only would have known it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have worn any dark eyeshadow, because even if you've got some long wearing primer on, that dark shadow is going to show signs of wear more than a light look is. So that is why I am using this little trio from Physicians Formula. It's in Baked Gingersnap, and what you get is a it's, I think, showing up a little more saturated on camera than it really is, but you get like a dark brown, a medium brown, and a light pink. So I'm going to take my Sigma SS239 brush, and I'm going to get it right here on the pink, so kind of load it up there, and apply that all over the lid, and you're going to see a nice, you know, light shimmery sheen there, but it's more like pearly. It's not too over the top shimmery. And then go ahead and just get a little bit of that same shade up under the brow while we're at it, just for a light highlight here. Okay, I told you this was easy. Now flip your brush over, use the side you weren't using for the pink, and get some of the deeper brown on there. It's really not that dark. And wedge that right in your crease. And just kind of like you're just sticking the color in there. You got it there. Take a fluffier brush like the 224 and blend it out. And you've got a really, really super soft shadow look. Next, for your liner, you want to use just a small amount of liner, and really don't extend it or go too overboard with winged out looks and like that. Just use what you feel like you need to define your eye area. Any sort of waterproof or long wearing cream liner will be great. One that I really like that I find is super long wearing is the Jet Set waterproof eyeliner from Smashbox. I'm using a navy shade because I think it really helps brown eyes pop even more, and the shade is Midnight Blue. It just shows up very dark, and for as little as we're using, you're honestly not even going to notice the blue that much, but it's just a good way to define your eyes. I'm going to use the SS266, which is a liner, angled liner brush. Get a little bit of that cream on there. Just look down and kind of start blending that just onto the outer part here. Don't go overboard with thickness, and what I kind of do is start on the outside, and then as you get less and less on your brush, you start working it towards the inside. And you just get that nice little fade. I'm not really weighing that out at all. And then I'll also take the leftover and go just on the outer part of the lower lash line as well. And allow that to be a little more smudged. You have a very small window of time to smudge this before it does get to the point where it's not going to smudge at all. Now go ahead and give your eyelashes a curl. I'm using my e.l.f. eyelash curler. It's my favorite. Next, grab your favorite long-wearing mascara. I say long-wearing because not everyone likes waterproof, including myself. So I like to use, if I know I'm going to be in a situation where you know, I may be sweating or my makeup may start to run and do things I don't want it to do, I like to use a good smudge-proof mascara. I find that Lash Blast is really good about being smudge-proof, and also the XXL Pro 24-Hour Bold from Maybelline is really good, and it also gives your lashes a really bold look. Go ahead and apply that. Before that gets dry, use the second step, which is a little bit bigger brush, but this is supposed to kind of lock in the mascara. Just go ahead and don't put any mascara on the lower lashes, because regardless of what you do, I think you're just asking for under eye smudges with that. So just lessen the chance of it altogether by keeping that off of your lower lash line. Now for the lips, I would recommend some kind of a lip balm that has SPF. Just go ahead and keep that with you throughout the day, because it's surprising how your lips can burn and really start to feel the effects of the sun, and then you get this dryness, and it's just not a fun thing to deal with on your lips. So the EOS SPF 15 lip balm in Lemon Drop, oh my gosh, if you saw my review on these, you know how much I love it. But if you put that on, this actually has kind of a glossiness to it just a little bit, so I think my lips look good just with that on there alone, plus it's got the SPF. But I just, for this look, I kind of threw on a coral toned lip gloss, so inexpensive and so good, the Jordana Pretty Shine lip gloss in Delightful. You can see it's a pretty kind of orangey coral there, comes off like this on the lips, and I love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial of my quote summer proof makeup. I mean, I think we all need to be realistic when we think about going out in the water. You know, this stuff isn't going to necessarily last through all that, but if you work outside, if you have an event outside, if you're going to an outdoor wedding, or, you know, whatever the case may be, I think that makeup that is lighter and, you know, just kind of eliminates as much dark product on your face as possible is really going to hold up a lot better than maybe your typical makeup look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch, and have a great day.